extremely aggressive gun bill, H.R. 3999, introduced, would virtually eliminate the Second Amendment. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear League Project, how the heck are you? This is shortly after the Las Vegas event. The powers that be don't let any crisis go unwasted. And this right here is, in my opinion, pretty much the death blow to the Second Amendment. So let me just read it to you real quick. The amendment, Title 18, United States Code, to prohibit the manufacture, possession, or transfer of any part or combination of parts that is designed and functions to increase the rate of fire of a semi-automatic rifle, but does not convert the semi-automatic rifle into a machine gun and for other purposes. Now, what is the Second Amendment? Let's take a look at it real quick. This is directly from the constituteproject.org. Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It doesn't say anything about there needing to be militia for hunting or guns for catching deer, shooting deer when you're out in the middle of Alaska. No, this is saying that they need a regulated militia, nanu, for the security of the free state and for the right of the people to have guns, the right to bear arms. So let me ask you this. What's more dangerous? How many people die a year from handguns and bump stocks? The article that recently came out said, oh, what gave Paddock the power to kill 59 people and injure over 500 all by himself was because of the bump stocks on assault rifles. Timeshare, I doubt it. Now, once again, I'm not saying nobody was killed. I'm not saying nobody was injured, because I've seen plenty of reports of real people that were injured and killed. My condolences. It's terrible. Now what are they doing? Well, what would be another way to just take a little bit more power from the people? What's another way to create more division, to create a martial law, civil war, emergency powers type scenario than to go after people's guns? Now, this is what's interesting is, I'm going to go over this is great too. We the People petitions whitehouse.gov do not pass H.R. 3999. This was created just yesterday. It's already gotten over 28,000 signatures. It needs 100,000. So an additional 72,000 approximately by November 11th. Don't wait until the end. I would say if you guys want to do something about this, at least go to this website and sign off on it. Hit the sign now and get enough people to sign this to where it will go to the White House and the administration will have to look at it. We just look at it. Now, what I find scary is the possession. I don't want to say scary, but it is kind of frightening if you do appreciate the right to bear arms, if you do appreciate your Second Amendment rights, if you do appreciate the fact that there's more people that are armed in the United States of America than per capita than any other country in the world, from the research that I've done. At least it's in the top 3. Is that a deterrent to keep foreign nations from coming in? China would just love to see America disarm. Russia would love it. Iran would love it. Every country in the world would love it, except for those that might have problems after the fact if America was to be overthrown by a foreign nation and then another nation became the police state, the police enforcer. You know what they say? It's a bad job, but somebody's got to do it. We had a guest on the show the other day that made a good point. If America isn't the global police force, who is? It's a fine line there. The question is, if you're going to be the global police force, make sure that you're just and right and balanced, and let the people from these other nations put their, respect their beliefs and their values as well. I think that this is I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how many people fall for the propaganda, I wouldn't be surprised if something like this did eventually get voted on and possibly pass. Because right now, it hasn't passed the House, it hasn't passed the Senate, it's just been introduced. And literally, just a day later, we've got a third of the signatures almost required to petition this bill, to stop this bill, to counteract this bill. So this is it. Do not pass H.R. 3999. We must not allow the Second Amendment to be infringed based on a bill that has been proposed to do exactly that. This bill would not specifically include the infamous bump stock used in the Vegas shooting, supposedly used in the Vegas shooting. This is the language in question can be misconstrued to include many parts of a semi-auto firearm, such as a binary trigger, match-grade triggers, tuned triggers, heavy recoil springs, or buffers. Criminals do not follow laws. The shooter is the only true determination of the rate of fire in a semi-auto. Even with a bump stock, you are not guaranteed a faster rate of fire, as it is shooter-dependent, and still one shot per pull of the trigger. This is an ambiguous infringement on the Second Amendment. And then you click there and it takes you directly to this bill. We just look at it. All caps, bold lettering, prohibition of manufacture, possession. So if you have a bump stock, if you have a rifle that is modified and it's legal now, well, once this bill passes, it's illegal. No combination of parts designed to increase the rate of fire. Effective date. This section and the amendments made by this section shall apply with respect to conduct engaged in after the 90-day period that begins with the date of the enactment of this act. 90 days after. What does that mean? They're going to go door to door? Is it going to be like what happened in Boston after the steam cooker bombers, the pressure cooker bombers, supposedly? They were probably patsies as well, folks. You can go down many rabbit holes there. Doesn't mean they weren't a part of it. But when you watch video footage, I'm not even going to get into it. It's just ridiculous. Family Guy episode, week before it happens. Watch what he's doing in the Boston Marathon, running people over. Limbs are flying all over the place. I remember watching one news clip where they said there was over 130 people that lost limbs during the Boston Marathon. You see the guy that's on the cover of one of the magazines, headlines. Looks like one of his legs is blown off. It literally looks like a lamb shank, his leg does. No blood trail. That is the exact same guy that lost his legs, or one of his legs, in the Iraq War, 2001. Or it's his doppelganger, because it looks just like the same dude that lost his limbs in the Iraq War. Yeah, that's my opinion. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I did get my sandwich. It's delicious. Got some milk and cookies coming up here later. And I know people that are in the medical industry. I know people that are trauma nurses that have seen that exact same picture and said, it looks like his leg in that picture, it looks like a lamb shank. She said, there's no way that's what it would be like in real life. There's no way. Doesn't mean nobody got hurt. Doesn't mean nobody got killed. It means the official narrative is the cleanup crew tells us everything that's going to happen and that they want us to know. They're going to tell us everything that they want us to know, that they want us to follow and believe. And those that are awake, that know what's really going on, you can read it like a book that's easy to read. Speaking of books, I have the Trifecta Illuminatus set. Part 1, 2, and 3, The Eye of the Pyramid, The Golden Apple, Leviathan. These books were a large inspiration to the Illuminati card deck that I've been sharing with you guys that predicts the future, seems to predict the future, seems to foretell the future, more like it. Well, I'm going to go deep into this with you guys later and discuss this. Will they pass Will this pass? H.R. 3999. Are you going to pass, or are you going to sign the Do Not Pass H.R. 3999? That's very easy. Go directly to this link right here, petitions.whitehouse.gov. Do Not Pass H.R. 3999. Very easy to find. Read for yourself Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Has nothing to do with hunting. Has nothing to do with hunting. There you go. We the people, the United States Constitution. We just look at it. You want to keep it? What's the best thing to do about it in a peaceful manner? Be the change, be the ball. Question everything. LeakProject.com. Now, what is the Second Amendment? Let's take a look at it real quick. This is directly from the constituteproject.org. Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It doesn't say anything about its code to prohibit the manufacture, possession, or transfer of any part or combination of parts that is designed and functions to increase the rate of fire of a semi-automatic rifle, but does not convert the semi-automatic rifle into a machine gun and for other purposes. Now, ISIS go unwasted, and this right here is, in my opinion, pretty much the death blow to the Second Amendment. So let me just read it to you real quick. The amendment, Title 18, United States. Extremely aggressive gun bill, H.R. 3999, introduced, would virtually eliminate the Second Amendment. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project, how the heck are you? This is shortly after the Las Vegas event. The powers that be don't let any crowd out there needing to be militia for hunting or guns for catching deer, shooting deer when you're out in the middle of Alaska. No, this is saying that they need a regulated militia, nanu, for the security of the free state and for the right of the people